Welcome back to episode 2 of the Boys in Green podcast as we look back on a pathetic January transfer window from Celtic, and we also preview Aberdeen at the weekend. I'm joined by Nathan, who will also be here to preview the game and look back on this absolute shit show of a window.
Alright.
I'm just going to come to you first, Nathan, and just kind of ask your overall opinions on the window that was just abysmal, to be honest.
It's so annoying because throughout the year it's been Callum McGregor and Rodgers talking about quality, but to add 2 players and one of the players not even getting a game for Norwich, it's disappointing.
I don't know. I think the main thing for me is we didn't strengthen the position, one of the positions that needed strengthening.
Left back.
Which we'll just get. Well, our main left back's out injured, and who isn't good enough at that point either.
Aye, he's. I mean, even if like it doesn't need to be a permanent left back, we should have got a loan in. I mean, let's be realistic here, right? Our Celtic's 3 most important games are coming up. The next 3 games, and you're telling me we're going to go in with Bernabei playing at left back?
It's dire.
It's bleak.
Very bleak. I was happy for them to leave goalkeeper off to the summer and focus on left back and striker.
Even a midfielder.
Obviously, because we now let David Turnbull go, which I think it needed to happen, to be honest.
It was actually a good bit of business for Celtic because he never had long left in his deal.
But at the same time, when you're letting players
7 goals this season,
you're letting players go and you're not replacing them with anything else. It is good business, and I'm not a big David Turnbull fan. I just don't think. I thought, especially in his last game, I think he's quite lazy, to be honest.
I think it's good business in terms of like the financial aspect of it. But see, if you look into like Celtic's depth in the midfield, you know, you see
Hattati's out as well.
Hattati's out for 6 to 8 weeks. What if, God forbid, Bernardo gets injured? What if McGregor gets injured? What if O'Reilly?
Because Awata's injured as well.
Awata's injured.
So I don't know
you're telling me Old and Thiago Home is
still
probably one of the only backups we've got?
That's the only thing. But I think it was the best for all parties to move on David Turnbull. I thought during his last game he was just really lazy. He scores the odd goal, and I get that, and he scored a few goals, but at the same time he's
definitely a big threat outside the box, so, you know, ping a shot, you know, make the goalie work. But I wish for the best to him. COVID season, Turnbull was probably
decent. Probably the best of the bad bunch.
Aye.
Mikey Johnson leaving as well on loan, but
I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's shite.
No, hold on, right? Because he's came on nearly, I would say, majority of the games Rodgers has had as Celtic manager, and you know what? As soon as he comes on, he's done more than what Yang's done. He's done more. I'd say even he's done more than what Abad has done this season. You know, we took Abad off. Johnson came on. You know, it was better. Obviously, Johnson rotten shouldn't be at Celtic, right? But still, I mean, is it really a smart idea to rely on Nicholas Kuhn, who's just came in? That's a lot of responsibility.
It's the difference is with Johnson, he's had 8 years to prove this. 8 years. I know it sounds like honestly mad to think, but he made his debut back in, I think, 2017-18. That's nearly 8 years ago.
I know,
and he's not done anything.
He's not done anything. But I mean, we're going to rely on Nicholas Kuhn now.
That's why he was brought in. He was brought in to. That's why you pay the money for. So he comes in and improves better than Johnson.
I think Johnson's done well this season so far.
It's not. He's had the odd burst of form, but
he's been better than Abad. Obviously, Abada's been
injured. So, but the difference is Abada's get credit in the bank. Johnson hasn't.
No, I get that, but I really don't think it was a good idea letting him go, especially with very raw Yang. You know, obviously Abada played in my age.
Johnson's Celtic career's over. I've said it, and it needs to be. We need to move him on in the summer permanently. It's done. It's the whole.
So even if he does really well at West Brom, you're gonna.
Yes, because Celtic need to look for better. it's realistic. We were talking about Celtic need to. I think at the point now, I think where Celtic are at the moment, Celtic need to look for better now. We're not even talking about trying to improve in Europe. We're trying to improve to make sure we win this league, and that's from where this team were last season. That's an absolute
disaster.
It's disaster. It's a derelict, a complete duty, and I think on the back of this, I say somebody needs to go, but do I think it's going to happen? No, I think you've got too many jobs for life in there. You've got fucking Peter Lawwell's son as the chief scout. I mean, if he's a fucking head of recruitment or chief scout, Jesus Christ, not doing his job properly. You've got the two Strachan's as well. One's they're meant to be a chief scout as well. If they're the chief scouts, then God help us, because people need to go out of this club. It's rotten.
Outdated. I think that's the key word. It's completely outdated.
It's completely outdated. We've had the same chairman or the same guy pulling the strings for over 18 years.
The whole board is just a bit outdated.
It's they're dinosaurs, to be honest with you. The way they work is a complete archaic way to work.
The only thing I will back Lawwell up on is he's got very good connections inside the football. I'm not a big Peter Lawwell fan, but... Are you? I never know.
I'm not a big Lawwell fan, but I just think... And I'm fine with the domestic success and stuff like that. That's fine, that's what you need to do, and we've done that. But at the same time, he's got his European record is utter atrocious.
There's so much lack of progression in this Celtic world. Exactly.
There's no plan, there's no progression, never will be.
I think what it is I think Celtic go and try to sign we sign 5 players and hope that at least one or two of them works. You know, there's not really concise, like, this player's the guy that we wanted. But with Adam, it's like, oh yeah, it seems to me like we'll get a tall Irish striker in, and because he's Irish we'll forget.
And that's the thing, that's people will make that mistake. Some people will forget. I tell you, if Adam Eder scores, say maybe 5-10 goals or something in the second half of the season, people will forget about this one day, and then the board will get away with it yet again.
Yeah, but there's not an option to buy in there. So.
Exactly, but this is the main problem. Then we'll be back in this situation in the summer because people will forget. This is the problem, right? See, Celtic last season, when we were doing well, obviously under Ange, Lawwell slipped back in the door. Now, I understand that Lawwell was always in the club.
He'll be in the club until he goes.
Pretty much. But he slipped into a position of power, and was nobody really challenged it because we were doing well. And that's why this board get away with it, because I'm not saying this to act entitled or spoiled, but I've had enough. It's same window after same window, and it's the same mistakes are getting made. Ange masked this board up for what they actually were because of how good a manager they actually was.
Do you think that Celtic, if we don't win the league, the board's gone?
They won't. That's what I was on a video with Alistair last night. What's the point of it? Because we just know it's not going to happen. Like, if we lose this league, I think it could
escalate.
I think that you're going to see potential protests at Celtic Park again, because
boycotting.
This is just no good enough. It's utter ridiculous.
For going for 8 points to a title race.
It's an abs, and we beat Rangers twice.
Exactly.
We beat Rangers twice, so we've done the so-called hardest thing in the league, to beat Rangers twice, and we're still only 2 points potential. I know it's 5 at the moment, but the Rangers will win their game in hand probably. So we're 2 points clear, having been 8 points clear at a point, and won the New Year derby. Come on, fuck, man, that is just ridiculous.
There's too many players in that Celtic team that don't show up for me. You know, the big games, perfect, will show up, but then there's players that just sort of switch off.
I think for me, I was kind of trying to always level the blame, but now the blame is solely on one part of the club. They run the club and they're not running it properly.
I will say though, I think that although Lawwell is massively at fault, there's still many other members on that board.
No, there is. Not just Lawwell. Everybody's at fault.
I feel that fans, and I'm guilty of it myself. If something goes wrong,
Aye.
Lawwell. But you've got Nicholson.
They're all
you've
at
got
fault.
Desmond. You've got these people.
They run the club.
So I think if we're going after the board, it can't just be
No,
Lawwell. It needs to be.
it's every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
It's every single one of them. And Desmond, I don't know is he putting the money in or is he not. I don't know that. But
I really don't think he is.
But this board are so far out of touch. It is unbelievable.
The attitude for the board after the game at Ross County saying,
Stank.
at least we got the win. I mean, that's just...
It was Nicholson.
It was Nicholson, at least we got the win. But then he said he was working on a left back. Short corner, that never happened, did it?
Adam Eder was a panic soon, and that's why I feel sorry for Adam Eder, because he's going to be the one that deflects all the blame.
If say he comes in and he does absolute rotten and stinks the place out,
he's going to get hurled abuse.
He's going to get abuse. You know, his career probably never be the same, and that's just not a nice thing to say, but it's true. I mean, he's going to be the face of against the board if everything goes wrong.
And then I think Alistair made a good point in yesterday's video. Basically, imagine me play Aberdeen and Bhoys Miovski scores. Imagine the absolute meltdown on Saturday lunchtime if Bhoys Miovski scores for Aberdeen.
I still wouldn't have paid $5 million for him.
Why not?
Would you
at least try. And this is where I'll stick up for Aberdeen and Hearts. Why not? They're scoring goals for fun, especially Shankland. He's scoring goals for fun for Hearts, and Miovski's doing it for Aberdeen. Why go and spend £5 million, say in the summer, right, on Krivich
Summer
Garden?
I would get, but I don't think January spending $5 million on Miovski would be smart or good.
It might not be smart, but you need to speculate to accumulate. We've got a league title at the end of the season that's worth £60 million. I don't know, I'm trying to, I don't know if the board know that either, because you need to drill that in. There's £60 million at the end of the season.
What do you think the Celtic board's main aim is?
To make a profit. They're the only board.
But then they want to make a profit, but they don't want to invest in the team that would make the most profit. So it doesn't
make any sense.
It doesn't add up.
The Celtic board must be one of the only boards in Britain to make a profit in the January transfer window. Honestly, I absolutely applaud them for. And that's what I do applaud them. That's what they're good at. They're good at making profits. And that's when people say, "Oh, but we're in a good financial position." We're in a really good financial position. So, but there's no reason why we can't go and spend on a left back.
Do you think that? I don't even think spending on a left back this window would have been smart. Get an established loan player in, do us to the end of the season, but throughout that time of the season we scout and then we see what left back we want.
We had 5 months to scout.
We needed a stopgap in January. We never got one, and now we're paying for it. Rodgers,
you know what got me? Rodgers, I think after we get beat, we won against St Johnstone. Remember, they rocked him at half time. Come out and said after the game, we need quality. That was at the end of September. That was 3 weeks after the window shut, and he said we need to look at quality. That's 3 weeks. That's ridiculous. And then we get into the summer window, and it's nothing. And then he just seems. I don't know what Rodgers is playing at. To be honest, I don't know if he's just playing along with the board's fucking, just playing along with it all the time, because I don't know. Is he sick here? I don't know. But why did they come back then?
I'll tell you what. This time next year, if it goes the way it's going now, he won't be the manager.
I don't know. Because if we win the league right in the summer, and he doesn't get backed in the window, what is the point? Just go.
It's bad for his reputation to stay if it's got to be like this.
Because then we look at it and it'll be the same again with a different manager. It'll be the exact same. Nothing's going to change unless something at the top changes. I'm not saying a full board shake-up. It's not going to happen. But they need to start... They're treating us like mugs. That's the problem. They're absolutely treating us like complete mugs.
Because what's annoying me is it's these £3 million players, which money doesn't mean anything, you know.
No, we got Matt Early for 1 point.
Exactly.
Million.
But then the scouting is so lazy, it's so bad. It's like, I mean, could you ever imagine Celtic signing a player for the Korean second division?
It's no good.
That's laziness.
I've said many times, if Celtic are going to do this Asian market, then you need to sign players from the top of Korea, top of Japan, the top leagues. Exactly. You know, you need to sign players who are the top goal scorer or winner team of the year. So that's fine. That's why That's why I didn't mind Kyogo, Hatati and Maida, because they came in and made an impact. Even O, to a certain extent, he's not that great, but he's alright. I don't really mind those much. But players like Kwon, I feel sorry for Kwon as well, because, and I hope he goes to St Mirren and it works out for him, but it's the recruitment is just, there's no plan there. And then I was speaking to somebody yesterday as well, and I nearly lost my rag, because he goes like that to me, well, who would you bring in? I said, it's not my job. That's not my job.
These people get paid enough to make this.
It's not my job to tell Celtic who to bring in. So it's a redundant question.
I remember Rodgers' first interview as Celtic manager, like, the scouting next level, you know, really good. You know, we've got a clear plan of what we're wanting. That just looks like that looks like lies.
Lawwell came out and said at the AGM, that Ange wanted his son. Fuck off, man.
What?
So at the AGM, I think he was asked. I think it may have been Michael Nicholson. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely was said, because it was made a big thing at the time. He came out and said Ange wanted Mark Lawwell. Geez, peace. So you're telling me Ange wanted your son? No, Ange wasn't given a choice. That was what the difference was. You're telling me Ange, who's worked in Australia, Japan, wanted Mark Lawwell. And I get Mark Lawwell's got a big thing in the City group and everybody knows about him. But come on to fuck. Seriously?
It's the thing that's just annoying me is there's too much passing the buck going on at Celtic.
It's far too much.
There's nobody actually
taking responsibility,
exactly.
But they've been good at that for years. They only take responsibility when Rangers win the league. That's the problem. That's the only reason they get back. See if you look at the last, see if you look since 2004. So if you look since Martin O'Neill, they backed Martin O'Neill because Rangers was dominant. Rangers, I think, had been winning pretty much everything. Martin O'Neill came in and they backed him then. We didn't back managers, Strachan and stuff like that. Mowbray was just a disaster. Then Lennon, we didn't, to be honest, didn't really back. And then
Lennon got back to Mowbray
the second time, but the first time he wasn't really backed. And then when Rodgers came in the first time, the team was already really there for him, so they're gonna, Ronnie Dyer, to be fair, wasn't a great manager, but he brought some players through, McGregor, Tierney, Boyata there, Aya was there. He had players there, and he only had to really bring in Sinclair and Dembele, maybe like Roberts, so he didn't really bring in a lot in his first season.
I seen a good clip, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was for Go Radio, and I was watching it this morning before I left, and it was, it was a guy that worked for Norwich, and he said about Adam, he says, Adam's a decent player, he says, but when Dembele signed for Celtic, I would have never recommended Dembele to Celtic, so could Celtic fans be underestimating either?
I don't know, but he could, but then see if he comes in and does well, we're fucked anyway, because there's no option to buy. It just doesn't make any... See if there was an option to buy, right, I'd be a bit more optimistic. I think, right, okay, maybe he'll come in and hit the ground running. Say we've got, I don't know, a £5 million option to buy at the end of the season. See how he gets on, and we might activate it.
Aye, but we know if he does well, then Norwich...
But they're going to want to say, unless they really want rid of him, I don't know if that's the case, I don't watch Norwich enough.
He signed a new deal not too long ago, did he?
I couldn't really tell you, to be honest, but I'm just a bit perplexed, to be honest. It just didn't make sense to me, because I think I made a video on the day when. So I think I made the video on the Wednesday. I just wish I never made it, because everything I said in the video was just debunked the following day. And then I look at it and think, well, what's the point then? Bring in somebody of a higher quality on loan for 6 months. Aye, we might not get him. We know we're not. Look at Robbie Keane, for instance. We knew we were never getting Robbie Keane because of how high he was. But we knew 6 months does a job. Like you were saying, I think it was the other day, about not always needing an option to buy. See if you can't get an option to buy in somebody, bring in somebody who you know you're not going to be able to get one on.
That's what I'm saying. I think, see if you're going, see the fact that a player like Adam Ida should always have
an option to buy, because he's a championship striker.
But then you go for you go like Robbie Keane, you know what you're getting. They're top quality players. That I get with no option to buy, because they're established, they're quality, and to be point blank, they're too good for us. But Adam Ida's not. And Adam Ida, if he hits the ground running, Norwich are going to overprice him.
Because
exactly.
And then it's like then we're going to sit here and look at players like Craig Bellamy. He came in, done a job, and went away at the end of the season. But I'm not telling Celtic here I want to go and phone up Man City and say give Julian Alvarez or some shit like that. But there must be players out there.
Aye,
feel like
good players.
Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barca, somebody. But and then you get hit with, well, what would you do? It's not my job.
These people get paid a hell
I'm
of
sorry,
a lot
but
of money.
anybody trying to excuse this absolute monstrosity need to wake up.
It's
delusional.
It's so disappointing, the fact where, see, coming into this season, you're like, alright, we've lost Jota, we've lost Starfield, but we've retained basically the team.
Lost Moy as well.
Lost Moy as well. Moy
was going to.
Moy was always going to retire.
His back was fucked.
Aye. But we've not replaced him. Palma is meant to be Jota's replacement. Naraka, who has been out, meant to be Starfield's replacement, even though they were here at the same time. And then who's replaced Moy? Because Moy was not
replaced the penalties anyway.
A set pieces, exactly. I mean, Moy was sort of a defensively minded, slow the game down. So I would say he's underrated for Celtic, because
he's done a job.
See when Moy came in, we're all like, Aaron Moy,
that game against, I don't know, I think he played in that game against St Mirren, we all thought, fuck's sake. He did have some absolute shockers in there. I think that game, the 3-2 game against Rangers, man, he was all over the place.
Oh yeah, that game, I remember.
Jesus Christ, man.
Just screaming at him.
He played with his shoes tied, I think.
Couldn't he pass the ball for
but
that?
I'm just, and I don't want to sit here and rant and all that, because at the end of the day I don't like ranting about main club and that, but what else is there to do? There's only so much you can take it before you go, yeah, fuck this, man. Because
we should be aiming for better.
Aiming for better, but that's the problem. We never, because there's no ambition. They've absolutely no ambition for us to do it, and I would love to sit down with somebody at Celtic and say, right, what's your plan? What was your working for the January window? It's like, I honestly just think when somebody asks you like for your maths exam or something, goes like that, here, can I just copy your answers? I honestly think that's what Celtic do. I don't think they've got any sort of plan. I'd love to sit down with, I don't know, say Mark Lawwell or somebody and go, right, Mark, what was the plan for the January window? And he'll sit and he won't be able to tell you, because there wasn't a plan.
It was, I bet, I mean, we all knew Adam Ida was coming in, but they waited till we waited till the last minute, and you can tell they waited till the last minute to announce it, because they knew it was going to be an absolute monstrosity of window. Exactly. Two players.
It's ridiculous.
I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting to go out and sign players for 5-6 million, but I was at least expecting 3 or 4 decent signings.
Exactly, and we've not got that. That's the problem. We've not got that, and I'm not happy. I'm sick of the excuses, and I think if anybody, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm just absolutely sick of it now. I think if you're still excusing this, it's just, I've heard it all. It's difficult to get players in. Not, isn't it? If you've got a plan, it's not difficult.
There's hundreds of millions of football players out there.
As I've said before, see for a striker, you don't need to look that far. There's two brilliant strikers on the doorstep. Say what you want, but they're scoring goals in Scotland and scoring goals in Europe. This is the problem. We look far too snobberish on the Scottish League.
Aye, but would you pay 5-6 million for Majorski?
No, but test the water. There's room for negotiation. We didn't even try.
I get we should have tried, but I wouldn't have been a fan of bringing Majorski in for 5-6 million.
But it's just, not even Majorski. Try Shanklin. Try. This is the thing. You don't try. It's
lack effort.
You know, we've signed some decent Scottish strikers. This is the thing. Or players that are playing in the Scottish League.
Armstrong.
You know,
I know he's not a
Armstrong, players
striker.
like that. I know Griffiths went a bit off the fucking rails, but he was still
Stevens is
scored
decent.
goals. You know, Mackay Stevens seems to get stuck in fucking rivers these days, but anyway. But I'm just absolutely
Gobsmacked.
I'm not surprised.
Aye, I know.
I'm not gobsmacked because I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's business as usual though, Saturday. You know, we've just got to put this behind us and support the team doing it.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, you support the team. I think when a lot of people have, like, when you heard the boos at full time against Ross County, I don't agree with personally. Everybody's pays their money and entitled to what they want to. If they want to boo or want to talk, like want to jeer or whatever. But I don't think the boos were levelled at the team. I just think it was
The performance.
not even the performance. I think it was levelled at the board
Frustration.
again. It was levelled at the board again because they knew that this was coming.
Yeah, I mean, what's disappointing about it is we had time. You know, we've got resources.
Plenty
and
of time.
We've just completely messed up.
But this is the thing as well. Celtic yet again were just trying to make the window better by maybe signing contracts up. That's what that and trying to make. You can sign contracts in January. You can sign contracts in
summer.
March, April, whatever. You can sign contracts anyway with the season. There's no need to date during January. That's what you bring your signings in.
Exactly. I mean,
It's an absolute just.
it's frustrating considering how much time, money, and resources that Celtic have got to spend. That it's ridiculous. I mean, the other thing as well, it's like we're not really. There's no structure.
There's absolutely no structure because I just feel like I'm repeating myself. It's just I said the exact same thing yesterday to Alistair. There's no structure whatsoever. We just, and it'll be the same in the summer. So I don't.
Well, it'll be the same in the summer if Celtic don't win the league.
See for a laugh, I would honestly, it would. I don't know because at the same time, you know, we've not got that emphasis with Ange when he brought in Kyogo.
Yeah, we've not got a manager that goes out and says, I want this player, that player, that player. We've got a manager that's a coach and relies on the scouting network to bring in players, and they're not doing it.
And a manager can have these players that he wants to bring in, but ultimately that's what the scouting team are paid to do. They're paid to go to Brendan. Do you want? You need a left back.
Well, no, the job is Rodgers will go saying, I need a left back that is good at defending and physical. The scouts have then got a job, right? We need to kick whatever to Rodgers' needs. We need to, a player that fits that style. But then we're not doing it. We're not doing that at all. Like, I bet Rodgers has went to the board saying, I need a tall, physical striker, and they went, there's a big Irish bloke.
There's a list, and Rodgers and this is what I think as well. Is it the scouting team, or is the scouting team going? This is where you need to look into it, because is it the scouting team or the scouting team going, right? Here's a list, and he goes to Lowell or Nicholson. Right, we've got a list for the strikers. No him. Too dear. And then he'll go, there's a lone player, so let's go for him. That's what honestly, that's what so,
doesn't it?
is it either the scouting team only doing their job, or are the board
not willing to
not
back.
bothering, or just saying, or just giving Rodgers the absolute gut, like
Bare minimum.
the trailer trash pretty much. And I hate saying that.
That's unfair on Adam. Maybe Adam's better than what we're all
No,
saying.
and I hope he is, because I'm not. When we signed him, I wasn't criticising the sign, because it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's the fault of the board not doing their job. That's what it looks like to me. If you're telling me that we've had a month to look for a striker, and we've resorted to this, come on to God.
Who isn't good enough to start for Norwich?
And that's fine. But to rub insult to injury, they go and sign Sidney Van Hooijdonk. We're a loan to buy option. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Aye, we should have. We should have done that for Sidney Van Hooijdonk.
So they're getting Sidney Van Hooijdonk while they're getting a player that they don't really want. Like, have some
perfect business for Norwich.
We're getting Celtic are a big club, but we don't act like one. We act like an amateur team. We really do.
We act like something the English Championship.
Not even that. Worse than that. League 1, League 2. The way we're acting is just borderline, because we've no ambition outside Scotland to do anything.
Aye, that should be the main goal for a club like Celtic, with a team in Scotland. We need to break out. I'm
not saying go and get to a quarter-final, semi-final, Champions League. I get it's difficult.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
But a Europe third place, trying quarter-final, semi-final, final.
Make a run.
It's possible. They done it. Rangers done it a few seasons ago. I hate to give them credit for it, but they done it a few seasons ago.
Their team's made for Europe. Our team's just no.
It's not exactly, but they brought in the right players.
They brought in the right players for the way they want to play, and I'll tell you one thing: they won't be far away for this league. No,
we're in a title race. Do I still think we'll win the league? I'm obviously going to say that. You're not going to say. Any Celtic fan isn't going to go, Rangers are going to run away with the league, but we're in a title race.
Maybe this is going to sound very weird when I say this, right? But maybe if Celtic don't win the league this season, then it's going to force the board's hand a bit, and we're going to need to get back.
But
should it really have got to?
And then we back again into a position of strength, and then we get back to, and then maybe win the league next season, and it'll be back to the same. Well, let's go and sign somebody for fucking
Denmark,
Korean second division or something. Or go and sign somebody that isn't good enough.
A project.
Like, I would love to. Like, I'm gonna have. So I think Mark Lawwell. Some of his signings. There's only about 1 or 2 signings that are any good.
Who's that?
Alistair Johnston. There's one signing. Come on, if that is any other recruitment of the head of football at Celtic, Lee Congerton and fucking, what's his name? Oh, what was his name again? The other, and there was 2 other ones. So I can't even remember the person's name, to be honest. But get sacked for less, but he won't get sacked because his dad's. He's got a job for life at Celtic, and that's not how a football club should be run.
Ruthless. That's what we should
ruthless.
be. No, that's what we should be. We should be ruthless. You know, at the end of the day, Celtic are a big club that are slowly shrinking into acting like a small club, and that's not who we are. I hate to say it, but we're not a big club in Europe anymore. We're a laughing stock of Europe. The fact that teams used to come and go Celtic
fierce, they come to Celtic Park
and laugh.
They just get a 3 points, and then everybody fucking goes after Heat. Oh, Tony Cruz said the atmosphere was brilliant. Seriously?
That was the Champions League games at Celtic Park.
Let's all applaud Modric. Fuck off, Jesus Christ.
I know Peter.
and I like look at Modric, man, but I wouldn't applaud him. Like, he's on the whole team.
You know, you should be shouting abuse at him. No?
But this is it goes hand in hand, because Celtic fans don't expect anything at European matches anymore. We just go and
hope for something,
and it's just.
When was the last Champions League game you really went to and you thought, alright, you can do something? Because seeing the games in this group, you knew that Celtic weren't going to win. You just felt it. That game against Feyenoord, yeah, we won that, but we weren't great in that. Exactly, that game meant nothing. It meant
something because it took that hangover back. We've not won in about 10 years. But Jesus Christ, we should have beat Shakhtar twice last season. We can't finish.
We should have bet Lazio.
And I get you. The Mudryk goal at Celtic Park was decent, but
okay, it was better than decent.
Anyway,
I mean, Juranovic should have brought him down.
And when we played them in Poland, obviously because we're getting the whole Ukraine war situation, but we should have beat them there as well. And it's just like, it's these things, and we should have beat Lazio this season, but we shouldn't be saying we should have. We didn't though.
Exactly.
Atletico Madrid, good performance. I gave the team credit. That was actually a really good performance.
Oh, that game.
That was a good performance again. A good team.
Celtic were playing some very good stuff in that game.
Then you've got the Atletico Madrid away. I don't expect Celtic to go and win against Atletico Madrid away. But see when the game's finished after the first half an hour, that was one of the worst games of football I think I've ever watched, because you were just sitting there. There's another one. There's another one. And I'm a bit like, and then still get people.
You've got Joe Hart trying to save the goal for Ben's line.
Sitting there. But this the box all stops with the ball. I get football's changed. I get that. But you can't. It is getting more difficult to compete, and I get that. But that shouldn't be used as an excuse. It shouldn't mean you stop trying.
Totally.
And we have stopped trying because the board just think, well, it's too difficult now because you've got Newcastle, Paris Saint-Germain, all these clubs running away with it. But I'm not looking at these clubs.
I mean, right,
these clubs are up there, and we need to. There's clubs that we look at Ajax. You know, clubs like Ajax, the Dutch teams, Feyenoord. They still spend a decent amount of money. But if you look at their income, Celtic get more income than Feyenoord.
Celtic should be like Ajax and PSV, where we can sign players for a decent amount of money, but then our youth academy needs to be better.
And I remember the start was going to be when we basically we get into the group with Feyenoord and stuff. So you had Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, and Lazio. You know, Lazio and Atletico Madrid probably, in terms of financially bigger clubs than us. We're the only club with a positive net spend. Give me a break. How is that possible? How is that possible? We knew we were going to the Champions League, and we just didn't invest it. We lost one of our best wingers in Jota. And God forbid, I'd love to have him back. Fucking but that. Anyway, but it's just ridiculous, man. We didn't replace him.
We didn't replace him at all, and people argue, oh well, Palmer's been decent, and I was one of them. I was like,
I don't think Palmer's as bad. He is, but his stats are decent. Can't take a penalty to save himself.
Is Palmer a winger?
I thought that myself, because
he plays for his national team.
It reminds me of Haksabanovic. It really does, because we had these exact conversations, but it come to Haksabanovic. We all know how that ended. He was just another one that worked at bits and bobs, but was just
had a good shot in him.
Disinterested at times.
But I genuinely don't think Palmer's a winger.
No,
because I think he's not got the pace to beat players. I think claiming that number.
He cuts. He goes. He's too one-dimensional at times. He'll always try and cut inside and
the wee step
instead of trying something else.
He's got a decent pass on him.
He's got a decent pass. He can whip a few good balls into the box. Sometimes he can just absolutely blaze it.
It seems to be increasing the amount of time.
And this is where I feel sorry for Kyogo is. What is he going to do with that? Well, he's not getting any service. Last season, I watched, I think it was a video of the 3-2 game, in fact, that we were talking about earlier. The boss were getting flashed across the box by Riley. Kyogo was there. Goal.
Aye, but, I mean, do you think... I don't think Rodgers is that stupid to be telling the wingers put the ball high in. No, I think Rodgers is probably telling them to put the ball low.
If he is, then he's just making himself look like an absolute idiot. Because Kyogo's about 4 foot.
Is it no common sense though with your wingers?
You think that?
I mean, let's be honest here, right? Say you are about 4'10", right? 5 foot. just saying that. And people were putting in balls that Olivier Giroud wouldn't even reach.
It's just
it's brainless.
And people keep saying, "Oh, this Kyogo this and the Kyogo that." Kyogo's a striker. At the end of the day,
Kyogo's not been good enough.
No, but listen, man, what I say. Kyogo's a striker here. Kyogo shouldn't need to move about. Kyogo's in the box. He's a goal scorer, and that's what he's meant to do. It's meant to put the players behind him to like provide chances for him, and they've not provided anything for him.
No, I get that. Back this is Kyogo's last season.
I don't know, to be honest.
He won't. I genuinely, I feel. I love the guy, right? It just doesn't feel like he's interested.
Yeah,
and why would he be
why
interested?
Would you be interested? Because he's standing there, no getting in. I wouldn't be interested. You can tell it with Kyogo on his face. He's bored at his fucking tits.
Exactly. He's not involved in the game. I can't even remember him touching the ball against Ross.
And you can say what you want. I'm a Kyogo fanboy. You know, I don't care about that. But I'm just seeing what I can see in front of you. He's standing there, and then he's just he's trying to make runs and nobody's finding him because we're doing. And then he's trying to come. This experiment where he's coming into the midfield. That's not Kyogo's game.
Exactly.
Kyogo's in the box. He's a live wire, and he's pacey, and his movement. But it's just everything seems to be nullified.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is,
don't get me wrong. Kyogo is still the top man. He's the top striker, whatever else. He's by far still the best striker in this country. I don't care what anybody says. This season, Shankly's probably been better, but overall, Kyogo's up. You can't discount 60 goals in 2 seasons.
I wouldn't say discounting's the right word, but I would definitely say that he's not been good enough. I know obviously the style we're playing isn't suiting him, but he's not interested, he's not getting involved. You expect your star players to influence a game no matter what, and he's just not been influencing.
But this is the thing, with strikers, it's different with midfielders and stuff like that. They can influence it, but a striker's an isolated position if you're not finding them, and we're not finding them because players, Abada's and stuff like that, not finding them crosses. Palmer's not finding them crosses. Midfielders are they running, like allowing them to, get in space and find them. This is the difference. There's no way that anybody's actually trying to find them.
Yeah.
So that's my main gripe at the moment. It's just he's not getting found enough.
Right. I would agree.
I'm just going to quickly end it off. I know we spoke about the Aberdeen game. It's kind of just been a rant for about 40 odd minutes, but what else do you really expect, to be honest? What are you saying about the Aberdeen game tomorrow?
See, I said last game against Ross County I expect a good performance. See now, I just want to win.
Just look at Bernabeu, Petraudry, Easter Road, and St Mirren next Saturday or Sunday, I think.
Aye.
But I think a result, obviously they've just sacked Barry Robson, so they'll probably get
Lennon's linked to the job.
I think if he'll get the Republic Islander job, I think.
I don't see him managing Aberdeen.
But so I think we just need to win.
You just need to win. But you expect your players like Matt O'Reilly, skills and all that to.
We need to win. Just need to
be rocks. And
we've got. This is the thing. We need to just focus the second half of the season. The transfer window's done.
Exactly.
So there's no really point rehashing.
I think the main thing that Celtic fans need to do now is we need to support the team. We've took digs at everyone basically. Now we just need to get behind our players because ultimately they've got a big job to do in the remaining 16 games.
What are you saying about starting 11?
Starting 11, I'll say minding you say it's pretty self-explanatory. I think Hart, Naroki, Scales, Bernabeu. See,
it's going to be Bernabeu.
It's going to be Bernabeu, but I'd start rousing at left back.
Even if Scales was to get moved to left back, we'd have played that against Ross County and never. Maybe because it's Petraudry and he's not got Bernabeu, maybe at Celtic Park, maybe, I don't know, so maybe it might be buying still Bernabeu, which gives me the absolute fear.
Aye, so Hart, Naroki, Scales, Bernabeu, Johnson, O'Reilly, Bernardo, McGregor, and then up front, Kyogo, Abada and
Palmer.
I
was maybe thinking
about
but I still think it'll be Abada, and I'm hoping for Abada's sake he
does better because that was embarrassing.
Because maybe the Windies behind him now and he can just focus on. I know it's difficult for Abada to focus at the moment because there is a lot of stuff going on, which
external factors,
is weird, political factors and stuff. I don't. And
doesn't ever have a place in football.
It doesn't, but it does. Politics seems to creep into football all the time, to be honest. So,
especially if you're Celtic.
Aye, pretty much. But
Adam Ida he come off the bench and scored a hat trick.
I hope Abada he does knuckle down now, because he is a good player.
Oh yeah,
he was absolutely awful last week.
He was honking. It was really bad.
But aye, so hopefully that will see that. I've just kind of gone the same as you. There's nothing really that I would change, to be honest. I think just Hart, Johnson, Rocky, Vickers, Scales, Bernaby, McGregor, Bernardo, Warelli, Palmer, Abada and Kyogo. I don't see it.
Before we end off this podcast, I'm going to ask you a question, right? Do you think it's the appropriate time in the summer to sell players like Vickers and Hatate?
If the right offers come in for them, that's the thing.
What is the right offer now? Because let's be realistic here. Both of them have hardly played.
Cameron Carter-Vickers for me is still a £20 million player.
I disagree.
He is.
How can a player that's been injured in terms of, I get what you're saying in terms of player. Definitely when Vickers is on his game, he's magnificent, right? But I mean, injuries, our team's going to want to pay 20 million for a player that's been out. A lot of players will go through maybe a season where it is played with injury, so I'm not really that concerned. And this is the thing as well. Vickers, you got to remember, Vickers hasn't had a pre-season because he had that knee operation, obviously. I get what you're saying, and what about Hatate? I think he's just no play. He's been unlucky. I actually feel really bad for him because he's just he seems to get back on it, and he's obviously playing for Japan. And that Japanese manager's stupid though. Why would you play a player that's not played the whole season? I did find that really strange myself when he doesn't seem in Matoma took Hatate and maybe not Kyogo, because I know Kyogo's not been scoring whatever, but Kyogo was fit. I'm glad he never, because God help us if he did, but aye, so I don't know. I still think they've just been really unlucky with injuries this season, and I don't know. There's going to be a big, massive overhaul at Celtic. No, there is. No, definitely. I think you're going to see probably Matt O'Reilly leave. Probably, I wouldn't even say probably. I think it is going to happen. That's a definite. Matt O'Reilly's going to leave. They probably more than likely are going to lose Hatate. Abada probably. So it's going to be a big change. There is going to be a big change at Celtic and stuff like that. So the board, no matter what, are going to have a big window in the summer if we win the league or not. Rebuild? No, there is going to be some sort of rebuild, because no matter if we win the league or not. But we need to win the Mora, and basically just all Celtic need to do is knuckle down and win. We need to knuckle down, but I could feel the worst if we did drop points tomorrow, because it would. Oh, the atmosphere's going to stink. They're very lucky they've not got a home game for about 4 weeks, and obviously I've now been told that the fan media has now been not allowed in at the press conference today, so let's be honest, we all know why that is, but we just need to win. I think that's the main thing. But that's the main thing. Aye. I'm going to end the podcast there. I hope you did enjoy. We'll be back obviously next week for episode 3, but we're back the Mora for post-match reaction to the Aberdeen game. Until then, I'll see you later. Cheers.